Welcome to the Positively You podcast. I'm your host, Jessie Larson, and I'm passionate about helping you shift the way you think so you can create a life you're absolutely obsessed with. Each week, I'll be bringing you a guest or a thought that's going to help you feel more optimistic and equipped to take real action. Get ready to push past limiting beliefs, ditch that negativity, and start showing up as the best and most positive version of you. Girl, let's do this. Hello, and welcome back to the Positively You podcast. I am back with brand new episodes. It's a brand new month, and I'm so excited to be here. I took the entire month of July off from producing new podcast episodes, and the break was absolutely needed, so amazing, and I'm ready to be back. So excited to be here again. So with that said, I don't know if when you clicked on this, you noticed something super awesome and amazing about what episode this is, but this is episode number 100. Holy cow, I'm so excited and just jazzed and over the moon that we got to 100 episodes. I remember almost 2 years ago when I started this podcast, just thinking about that and seeing other podcasters who were in these big episode numbers and they had multiple seasons and just looking up to them so much. And now I'm there. I'm numbered among those people who have not faded and not quit and have been consistent. And consistency is something that has been something I've worked on in all areas of my life over the last couple of years. And so I'm so incredibly proud to sit here, I'm sitting here today at my microphone, recording episode number 100. So cool. If you've been here from the beginning, from episode 1, and you've listened to every single episode, I know there's a few of you out there. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a support, for being encouraging, for showing up. It means the absolute world to me and shows me that what I'm doing is putting out goodness into the world and that you do find value here. So thank you, thank you, thank you. If you are brand new to the podcast, if this is your first episode, or if you've just kind of tuned in a little while ago, welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm so happy that we are continuing to reach new women, to reach you. And I want to just welcome you into the circle of positive, amazing women who want to keep pursuing good, putting good out into the world, and living as the best and most positive versions of themselves. You are so welcome here. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being here. Okay, so now that we got all of that gushiness out of the way, let's get into today's episode and the topic that I want to kind of chat about today, and that is rest. Like I said, I just came back from a period of rest with the podcast where I pushed pause for a moment, knowing full well that it was a rest period for me and that I would be coming back on August 1st or August 3rd, as today is. And the importance of being able to plan and prepare for rest. I had recorded straight through. I'd never taken a week off. I'd never, had a season end. It was just week after week after week after week. And I could feel myself getting to the point where I needed a little bit of a break. I needed to take a pause. And so I was able to think, when would that pause be good? When are my download numbers naturally down anyway? And I know July is a month where most of us are out there living life to the fullest. We're out there, it's summer, our kids are out of school, we're making memories, we're doing all the things. And so July was the perfect time for me to go ahead and push pause on recording and producing and distributing new episodes. And it was perfect. It was exactly what I needed. And so in that, I was also able to take a period of rest from life in general. And Connor and I were able to take 5 days and go on a vacation, just the two of us without our children. And it was a rest vacation. It was not a go and explore vacation. It was not do all the excursions vacation. It literally was, I'm going to put my toes in the sand. I'm going to hold this book. I'm going to have a drink in my hand, and I'm not going to do a dang thing. And literally didn't. And it was the best thing ever. So that's what I want to talk about today is rest. And more importantly, planning and preparing for rest. Because I get it. Listen, you know me. I'm a mom. I've got the 3 kids. My youngest is going into 1st grade this year, you guys. I'm going to have all 3 children gone all day long. This is a milestone in my motherhood journey that I never thought would come when you're in the thick of it with the littles and no one's sleeping at night and there's the babies and the bottles and the diapers and all the things, and someone, a couple years ahead of you tells you that your kids are going to grow so fast and be gone one day and you just want to punch them in the face because you're so dang tired and your house is such a mess. I'm now that mom who gets to be like, no, it goes by so fast. So how the tides have changed, right? So that's where I'm at. And crazy. So as we're nearing the last few weeks of summer and going into that shifting of the gears to get back into a school schedule and routines and more structure, you might be thinking that this is a really weird time for me to be talking about rest. This is when the busy season is going to start again. Summer was rest, kind of. And as we're heading into school, we've got school starting back up. We've got fall sports starting back up. The kids are getting signed up for all of the things, and our calendars are going to start to get more and more filled up. And so this might seem weird that I'm rest when we're heading into we're heading into a transition season. We're heading into the new school year and things are going to get busier. But that is exactly why I want to talk to you. Hi, it's been a hot minute since I've podcasted, right? That's why I wanted to talk to you about planning and preparing for that rest, because especially when things get busy and crazy, we get to the point where you wake up one day and you're like, oh my gosh, I am so tired. I'm so burnt out. If one more text message dings, if I get one more email, if someone even brushes up against me and touches me because I'm so on edge, I'm going to freak out. And you need rest, and you look at your calendar and it's completely full and there's no way you're going to get rest. And then you say to your people, I know, but when things slow down, and then things never do, and we just feel overwhelmed for days and weeks and months on end. So that's why we have to plan and prepare for this rest. So I'm going to take you back to my vacation with Connor that we were able to take in July. And we planned for this vacation back in January. So we had 7 months to look forward to this period of rest that we had and to be able to plan and prepare. Like I said, I've got the 3 kids. That's where I went off on that tangent. I've got the 3 kids. And so leaving, I couldn't just say, okay, kids, I'm tired. I need a break. Bye. See you later. Fend for yourselves. Doesn't work that way, right? You guys know you've got kids. And so it did. It took a lot of planning and preparing. So the first thing that you need to do to prepare yourself for seasons or times of rest is to look at your schedule and to be able to find a time that you can do that. Now, that might be a 5-day vacation. It might mean a weekend. It might be a night. It might be 2 hours. Rest comes in lots of different forms, and we can fit it in to little pockets if needed, and we can plan for bigger, more luxurious types of rest as well. So what you want to do is look at your schedule and where you can fit that in. Do you have something where you can take 5 days and go on a vacation? Do you have something where you're like, I'm going to book a spa day or a massage or a facial or something where you're just shutting things down, you're resting? So looking at that schedule and planning ahead, especially if you know you've got busy seasons coming up. So I'm looking ahead. I've got September, back to school, October, then we've got the holidays coming up where I'm like, listen, I want to be showing up my best in all of those things. So I've got to schedule in some time for rest so I can look at those and pinpoint. The next thing for your rest after your schedule is a support team. And a support team is crucial. I would not have been able to have left for 5 days without supportive people around me willing to support that. Right? My kids were shuffled between multiple people. They stayed with my parents. They stayed with Connor's parents. But my daughter also had a soccer tournament going on right as we were leaving. It was fantastic timing. And so we had to shuffle her between players and their parents and ask for help there. And it's okay to ask for what you need from the people in your life in order to support you in the rest that you need to show up your best, right? It's going to come back full circle. You'll be able to support them when that is needed for them as well. Everything good that you put out comes back to you and vice versa. So this rest and asking for help, you're not a burden, right? Sometimes it feels like that, like, oh, I can't go because I've got these kids and I've got these responsibilities and I have all of this. It used to be that it was like the saying, it takes a village, and we've lost that village a little bit. And I'm asking you to call in your village when you need them and to create that village. My support team for us being able to leave was parents, was neighbors, was teammates, and scheduling all of that in advance felt like a full-time job. It was a lot to make sure that my kids were all the places they needed to be, that they had all the things packed that they needed, that they had phone numbers and contact information and all of the things. There was a lot, and it did feel overwhelming before we left. But that is why the planning and the preparation is so important for your rest, is that when you are in that rest, you can fully lean into it and shut off your brain so you're not carrying that mental load with you. As moms, I know you understand what I mean when I say mental load and the mental work that just keeps hanging around there. And it's like when you take rest, you're not really resting because your brain is still going 1,000,000 miles a minute. That's what you want to be able to shut off, is that mental thing. Like, yeah, you can lay down on a beach and put your toes in the sand, but you're still thinking of all of the things, right? And so then it's not really rest. So the planning and the prep is imperative. Okay, so that brings me to my next point then of shutting it all off. We are not good at shutting it all off. We have our phones that are basically an appendage to our bodies at this point. They are always with us. We hear the little dings. We have the notifications. I have an Apple Watch, so even when my phone is not with me, I'm still getting notifications like on my physical body. It's insane how connected we are, which is amazing. I love being connected. But there is everything vying for our attention, and there are so many distractions in our daily life that it is just crazy. So Connor and I got to the airport. We got through security, we got to our gates, and we sat down and waited to be called to board the plane. And we took out our phones and proceeded to turn off notifications and to actually, not even just turn off notifications, delete apps completely from our phones. He took his work email app and deleted it from his phone. Now again, his preparation and support team was different than mine. Mine was centered around the house and the kids. He obviously had to put things in place for him at work to be able to take that break too. And luckily, I do think that a lot more workplaces are getting on board with how needed rest is, and that it is actually good for their employees to take rest so that they can come back and be a better employee. Luckily, my husband is at a place that does value that. And so he was able to have the people that needed to help him and support him at work so that he could take a break and shut it off. And let me tell you, the difference between going on a vacation with a husband whose mind is still on work and still answering calls and still answering emails versus the vacation where you two have literally escaped the world and you're just on this little island basically by yourself and nothing else matters, is magical. And it is why I'm talking about this and why rest is so important, because we need to be able to shut it all off. We do. We need to be able to take that rest and not have that mental load and to not have the things nagging at us in the back of our head, even if it's just for an hour. Bonus points if it's multiple days. All right. The next thing is, if you are taking rest that is, not even if it's bigger, if it's a day at the spa, if it's going to get a pedicure, if it's stringing up a hammock in the mountains and you're hanging out and enjoying the sound of the birds, whatever, I'm just spitballing here different things of rest. Letting go of the idea that you need proof. And what I mean by this is like the pictures or the things that you can post and all of this. Connor and I just went on an amazing vacation to Mexico that I literally have like 3 pictures of proof. And there's a huge part of me that's like, oh, like I don't have any pictures of that and I would love that and have the memories. But I was so present that I literally did not think about needing pictures. And that's a magical place to be. When you can leave the phone completely away, because the phone is the camera, and just be present. It is okay to not have proof of every little thing that you do, especially when the point of what you're doing is to rest your body, is to rest your mind, is to rest everything. You don't need the proof. I have people that have been asking, right? Like, what did you do? And where's the pictures? And let me see. And I'm like, I don't have them. I was just there. I was there. And I guess if you want to see it, you can go there too. Kind of a thing. And the next thing I will say with rest is to fully lean into the rest. It goes along with being present and not needing that proof. Also, not feeling guilty. Know your purpose and that this rest is purposeful. There's a difference between like rest and like slothfulness and laziness. Rest is actually incredibly productive. It's healthy. It is good for you. It is rejuvenating. There is a difference between just sitting on the couch and scrolling and consuming TikToks and Instagram or browsing Netflix for 15 hours before you decide to watch some trashy whatever. Like, that's not actually rest, right? That's just not doing anything. It's being slothful. It's being lazy. This rest is the rest that will bring you back so that you can show up. You can come back to your life and be like, yes, I'm ready to tackle this. I'm ready to do the things. I'm here to show up. I feel so good. I feel alive. I feel purposeful. That's the kind of rest that you need. So, as we're heading in to probably a busy season for all of us with back to school, I urge you to take a look at your schedule and figure out where you can fit in pockets of rest and how you can plan and prepare for that. So to recap a little bit, the things that you need to do is your schedule. Look at your schedule. Number 2 is having the support around you, whether that's a friend, whether that's a parent, a neighbor, a coworker, whatever, someone that can support you in that rest. And then vice versa. Like, how then are you able to support other people in their rest as well and encourage that? The third one is shut it all off. If that means silencing notifications, if that means leaving a phone and not even taking it anywhere, if that means deleting apps, seriously, shut it all off. And then not worrying about having proof. We always want to have something to post. We always want to have something to share. You don't need that when the intention is rest and rejuvenating yourself and getting ready to come back into the world and come back as the rested, positive version of you. You don't need that proof. And then the last thing is to let yourself lean fully in, to be fully present, to lean in guilt-free. As moms, it can be hard for us to take time for ourselves, to feel like we deserve the rest. You don't need to earn your rest. Absolutely do not. And rest is essential. It is not a weakness to need rest. In fact, being able to recognize and prepare and honor yourself and your needs and give yourself the rest that you desire and that you crave is a superpower, not a weakness. And that is a conversation that I'm happy is starting to change a little bit. That hustle culture, that go, that burnout, that it's just like, well, that's the time of life we're in. It's just kind of crazy. I'll rest when I'm dead. No, that's dumb. So there is my little message for today, is that rest is essential. And I hope you can put into place some of these things that'll help you plan and prepare for that rest so that you can take it with intention and not take it because you're sick and because your body is burnt out and because your mind is done and because you're getting triggered by everything, but to be able to take that rest intentionally and not because everything is shutting down and falling apart. All right. Well, I'm so happy, like I said, to be back, to be doing regular episodes again. I've got so many good things coming up. It is going to be such a great time. I hope you enjoy the last couple of weeks of summer. If you've still got them, if you're already back in, go you. You're probably in like Arizona. I know they start a little bit earlier, but thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you guys next week. Thank you for hanging out with me again today. I'm so glad you pressed play. If you want to take a quick second to share this episode with someone you think would love it too, that would be amazing. If you're loving the show, make sure you go and leave a review on iTunes. Reviews are like magic for podcasts, and your review will help get this show into the ears of more amazing women just like you. And come find me over on Instagram. I'm there at positively.jessie, and I cannot wait to hang out with you some more. So until next time, have an amazing week.